Good day, everybody. Call me Salda. So today I bring you this game, which is fairly new. It's called Mass of the Dead. Now, for all of you who was here before on my channel long time ago, I used to do a lot of anime games, mobile games, Tokyo Ghoul, Epic 7, all that. But for this year, I just want to start afresh and talk about this game that I am actively playing right now. So, Mass of the Dead. This was taken from the IP of Overlord. For all those people who don't know Overlord, it is a very interesting anime. 3 seasons so far. Pretty good. One of those isekai animes, if you want to go check it out. But I do recommend you read the light novel. Now, because this is the first part of a long series of me showing this game, you know, going along with you guys, play with this, and also talk about each event, I would say, when they come on, and provide a bit of guideline and you know, preferences for all of you that are new to this game. Now, just before we start, just a bit of disclaimer. I'm not sponsored by this game or the company who published this game. All copyright goes to them. So, you know, let's get the legal things out of the way. Now, first part of this episode, we're going to talk about the general UI. So once you log in, you will get this screen. This is your base screen. You can rotate to 3 set of camera angles. We'll talk about that later. On top left, you have your name there, and it shows you can change your name anytime you like. Your character possess, how many characters you have, companions, etc. Your ID and your progression, and you can also change your comment there. And also on the right side of this, it shows whoever you're using as the leader of your party shows up there. Now, on next to that, you have the VIP system. Now, interesting, this is a gacha game, but it does have a VIP system. It's more of a benefit. The main benefit is not the little extra gems you get. Of course, they're really good, but it's mainly the extra maximum stamina that you get. That is really important. We'll get to that shortly. So next to the VIP, you have your stamina right here. You see 54 out of 150. If you didn't have the VIP, I would only have about 100 stamina max at level 52. You can see my level right up there. So it's really good that the VIP gives you extra bit of stamina. Just make you do extra missions, 2 or 3 extra missions. Now, next to that is your gold, of course, and then your paid currency, which are Chaos Gems, I think that's what they call it here. Now, on the top right, it's a little button you press, which just takes away all of the UI. Then you can look at this wonderful, I would say maybe a castle, cathedral, you know, it's whatever it's in there. It reminds me of the anime. In the anime, obviously, they live in Tomb of Nazarick. Spoilers, by the way. And probably one of the rooms in there. You can see the flags up there as well. Okay. Now, moving to the top left, again, just below your name, you have the exclamation mark. Now, this just shows the notifications of what event is going on at the moment, banners and celebration event, blah blah blah, and you know, technical issues, etc. updates. The gift box, whenever you log in at the moment or you start the game, you get extra free gifts for your reroll. And then down below there, the third little button, this is your friend list, and you just add them. And you help them each day by pressing the button here, support all. You get this thumb up currency, I would say. It's used for friendly summons, which I will show you later. Now, Bottom left, there's your characters. So when you tap that, you go into 4 different I would say tabs for it. So party edit, each party has 4 members. You know, edit whichever member you like to put in, and then you can set up to 10 parties, I believe. So what I have set up first is party 1 is always just my generalized party. You know, I can take it pretty much to everything. But it's not my farming party. My farming party is party 2 because of Demiurgos. His luck is 60. I'll talk about that later as well. So I do get extra drops for the farming currencies and all that stuff. Party 3, I made this party just for the ongoing event, which I will also talk about it. And show you guys too. Party 4, this is my multiplayer party. Now I usually use Mare because Mare, she's the only healer, well, only good healer in the game at the moment. So I would prefer to give a lot of people support, especially on the harder difficulties. And I did level her, break through her to all the way to level 100. I will show you my characters soon. So those are my 4 parties at the moment. Character strengthening. So obviously this is where you strengthen your party member. For example, if I go to her, Shaltir Bloodfallen, so you get this little crystals, or this round balls. They're not crystals, they just help you to level up. One thing I would recommend is that whenever you level up a character that you want to use, don't use strengthening character function that much, because number one, these things are not as good or as efficient to level up a character as you try to grind them and get XP from campaigns and missions. And number two, it uses a lot of gold. It really stacks up, so I don't recommend to you to use this at all unless you absolutely have to, or you just, you know, are loaded with gold and upgrade materials and knock yourself out. Okay, now skill strengthening. Now this is interesting. So each of these characters, they have their different skills. So, well, I'll start with the level 1. So I got Shaltir just yesterday. Now you see all these are locked, and that's because you have to limit break them to unlock them, and then you strengthen their skills. Now each character has 3 active skills and 2 passive skills. So for her, every time you strengthen, it goes up, and when it reaches 20, you say there, level 1 out of 20, you have to break through them to go to 40, and then 60, 80 and 100. And each time you break through them, you get extra stats. So first time you break through there, you see HP of 100. Second one is attack 60, third defense 30, and fourth speed plus 10. So even if you don't use the character, or you don't like the character's, for example, skill, you don't want to upgrade it, it's always worthwhile if you have extra to upgrade it, because you get these extra stats which do come in handy, and they stack up really well, given that usually they have 5 skills that you can upgrade. So if you look at my Albedo here, I have pretty much limit broken everything to out of 100. Now I did not level it up to 100 because it's really expensive, but as you can see, I have all the bonus stats, and she's pretty tanky. So Albedo is my tank at the moment. So if you look at Mare, so she's still work in progress. Now her heal skill is really good, so I'm trying to get it to 100 at least, so that will helpful. The rest I'm working on it, because today I cannot farm the attack and defense break limit item, so I can't really break limit her right now. The rest of the skills I have to wait for next week. Yeah, but that's her. So that's skill strengthening there. List of affiliations is just shows the list of characters that you have. you have obtained. You can just scroll through them as you see fit. Okay, so we're done there. Now let's go to Kaos Relics. Now Kaos Relics, for those who played like previous games like Naruto games, they have their, you know, card system, things like that. So this is similar. So when you go into this Kaos Relics, same thing for tabs that you have. Possession list, so what relics you have. At the moment I'm missing 2 5-star relics, I think, but the rest I do have them. I'm keeping the 4 stars and limit breaking them. As you can see, most of them are all limit broken to 80, because you might never know. For the 5 stars and the 4-star Kaos Relics, they all come with a passive skill. So I do recommend that you keep your 4-star relics. Some people, you know, have full 5-star relics and they just aim for 5-star. That's fine. But 4 stars, they could be very helpful as well if you cannot get your hands on 5-star, especially if you want to fully limit a 5-star relic. That's gonna take some time, where 4 stars are a bit more easier, and the passive skills, some of them give you a pretty good. So magic defense raise, this is good for your tank. Critical hit rate increase, that's pretty good as well. Now, something to really talk about for the 5-star relics, a few good ones that I do recommend to have starting up. Now, if you are to pay for some currencies in this game, if you get the VIP, you get this free relic for you. It's called the Mass of the Dead. That's the title of the game. So this is really good. Magic skill attack power raised. So for any spellcasters, this is fantastic. Now, the unfortunately is you can't get the dupe of this at the moment, so it's max at level 60, but you can see that the bonus stats it gives is all 4 of the main attributes, which is good. The other one is, as I say, if you're using Albedo as your tank, I'm using this card at the moment. I'm almost fully limit broken this card. It says, or would you like me? So spoilers alert again. Back in season 2 of Overlord anime, if you recall, when Momonga or Ainz teleported back to Nazarick after he was doing some missions as Adamant Titan class hero, he was greeted by Albedo in his chambers, saying, you know, the usual cliche housewife phrase. So yeah, that's where the picture came from. And it's really good because it increases only defense. Now, when a card only increases one element of or one stat, it is really good in terms of that stat will be increased quite a bit. So no other card at the moment increases defense by 1009 at level 52 apart from this card. And it also erases the evasion. So pretty much you use Albedo, fully limit break her, and you put this card on her. She's pretty much a really good tank, and she helps with you in a stall team. I'll show you what I mean by stall team later on. Now, the third relic that I would recommend is the symbol of the guild. So this is the Staff of Ainz Ulgon, as you can see there. So this is really good as well. Magic attack power raised, and it increases a lot of HP attack. I only have it at 70 limit break, so that's a really good skill card for your magic casters. Now, this card is from the current events. I've already farmed all 5 copies, so I've fully limit broken it. It is the Mask of Fury. This is when Momonga was going to Karne village, and he was wearing the mask to help him to hide his face. So this card is very interesting because it doesn't increase every magic ability. It just increases a fire element attack, and also the aim is raised too, which is really good, and it boosts a lot of attack as well. So if you're farming the current event, this is a definitely card to get. And I do use this card. You can use it on the new Eins, which I'll show you on the banner later, or you use it on Demiurgos. I prefer Demiurgos at the moment because his skill casting is more cost effective compared to the new Eins, and both of them are fire element. They use fire attacks, so this is definitely used on Demiurgos, I feel, rather than Eins. Okay, now this one is really good as well, Mighty Warrior. So this shows you Cocytus. This was when he was fighting with the Lizard Man during, I think, season 2. So this card is really good for basically any character that does damage. It doesn't have to be Cocytus, it could be anyone that does damage, magical or physical, because it increases critical hit rate, which is very significant because critical attack does way extra damage. I believe is it 50 to 100% extra? I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on it, but it's really, really good. Now, this is also quite good as well. Justice has arrived. Now, this is unfortunately limited to physical attack individuals like Cocytus. It's okay. It's an okay 5-star relic. I do, if your physical attacker is quite, squishy, I would recommend using this instead of the previous relic, because it does also add defense on top. So it's good to go use Cocytus with this. Now the other 5 stars are so-so. Now I do want to mention about this one in particular, just as a side note, our Triumph card. So as you can see there's Shaltia in her bloody Valkyrie armor, and she's using her ultimate skill, which is Inheria. So this card is very interesting because it only raises speed. Speed is a stat that shows who goes first, and I will be using this on Shaltir, Bloodfallen. Now the passive is whatever, I'm only there for the speed. The reason being is Shaltir has a skill that does paralysis. So if she goes first, especially you're doing boss hunting and you paralyze the boss, they can't do anything, and the rest of your group doesn't need to get into harm's way or doesn't get any attack from the boss, and you can kill the boss easily. So that's a card to look out for if you have Shaltir. If you don't, it's whatever. Alright, I think that's enough about that. So strengthening relic, it's the same thing. I don't have any strengthening card, so pretty much you just go to it and then you click on the card you want to strengthen. Use gold as well, very straightforward. Sell sometimes. So gold in this game, sometimes you get gold coins from campaigns, missions, and sometimes you get it in form of relic cards. It shows coins, gold mount and things. So to get extra gold, you need to come here and sell them. Apologies for that. And inventory limit expansion, you can always expand if you have too many, which is not a problem at the moment. Okay, now moving on. Now this is just your library, shows what story collection, character recollection, achievement, item list. I won't go through too much of it at the moment. Your missions, so this just shows your daily missions, weekly missions, ranking missions, and limited missions. So make sure you do all your limited missions. They are very good. They give you stamina pot for refilling your stamina, which is fantastic. Your usual shop, so this, if you're a pay-to-play player, this is where you buy all your stuff. As you can see, I am a whale, so I do buy things from here if I see them. There you can go through the exchange shop here as well, which If there's ongoing events, you get the currency there and you can exchange it. Okay, next one is the summon. So at any point there are some banners that are present. So at the moment this is the current event. I'll just go with low power mode just in case if the phone dies on me. Sorry about that. Now it's a battle of Karn Village. So if all of you remember that in episode 1, this is where Ainz went and fought against Nigel, who is apparently apostle of God and was sending archangels from Yggdrasil to fight. What I will do is I will do a separate video for this event and show you how I solo it and beat it pretty much. So in here there's 2 new characters. So Goku Detail, this is the Momonga, which is masked. Pretty good stats, I would say, but is he needed? If you have the old Ainz or the original Ainz, you don't need him, and if you have Demiurgos, you don't need him. His only niche is he could seal skill usage on the opposition team, so utility wise he's good, but it has about a 65% chance of success. It's not 100%, so keep that in mind. I did one pull, one multi on this, and I got him, so you know, it was just a YOLO pull. I didn't get him though, Nijin. So his skill, I actually didn't read it. So he uses a holy skill. So he is a good counter to the original Ainz because he uses holy. But because he's 4-star, his stats are not that good. He's okay. He's okay. Alright. Now this is, whenever you log on, this is the release celebration summon volume 1. You get a raid up for Albedo, Demiurgos and Cocytus. Out of all these 3, I would say if you get Albedo or Demiurgos, it's good. Cocytus, he has his uses. He's a very heavy hitter, but he's very weak in defense and HP, so gotta be careful with him. This is the original banner that's always there, so you can see everyone is in there, including the 2 new characters. And if you want to reroll, this is the banner you go with first, and I would recommend, let's see, so original Ainz, which he is really good. He's more of a damage output dealer rather than any utility. He doesn't have any utility, it's just a pure nuker. Albedo, very good tank, very good debuffer, and very good enhancer as well. So Albedo is all round, and Shaltier is a good support, I would say. Cocytus, again, just damage output. Aure, so, see, I have a love-hate relationship with Aura. Like, she is really good as a boss killer because she has one skill called what do you call it? Petrification. Now, Petrification, again, it's not 100% crit or hit rate, but when you use this skill, and the boss are not immune to it, by the way. If they get petrified, you automatically kill them. It's a one-hit kill if it works. So she is very good. It's a she, by the way, and she can tank a little bit too, especially her last passive, which is magic defense up. So she's really good as a boss killer if you roll the RNG, and also she is really good in killing beasts, so which is also a good thing. But for me, sometimes it just doesn't proc and it irritates me, so that's why I have a love-hate relationship with her. She's really good to get too. Now Mare, of course, the only good healer at the moment in the game, so if you get her, I highly recommend it. Now she's very weak in terms of her stats. Oh, sorry, it's a he, by the way. So you have to give him a really good relic to buff him up. And make sure when you break limit breaker, get magic defense up all the way up. If you could get to 100, that's fantastic, because that will help with his survivability. Demigoros, as I say, is a very good nuker as well. Flame, same as the new Eins. Alright, so ticket summons, you'll get ticket now and again. You can summon here, and this is your friendship summons here when you get support points. So that's a summoning. Functions, basically this is just your UI about game settings, help, data transfer, official Facebook page, and all that, and fully download the game if you want to reduce loading time. So there you have it. Sorry, this is taking quite a long time because this is just the introduction of Mass of the Dead. I will keep on releasing some videos of this game. I think the next one I will really just talk about my team and go through the hardest difficulty in the current event. So here it is, the first one, Battle of Crane Village. And every day you have different events. Strengthen Quest, Abyssal Portal, this is where you farm different currencies to exchange for goodies in the shop. Limit Break quests, so you do that. Every day it changes color, make sure you catch it. The Advent Field quest as well, where you farm Hamske, the hamster, the mascot of Nazarick, I would say. And your Training Portal, so every day you get 3 free openings. You can get gold, sometimes you get upgrade equipment, materials, blah blah. Chaos Memory is where when you unlock a character and your intimacy level goes up, meaning that you use them a lot day by day, and you get to do their own scenario. It's like a personalized scenario you do, and you get free gems. Okay, what's next? Story is just the main story at the moment, so only 5 stories, and there you go. So more will come later. This I'm on the 3rd chapter. There are 3 chapters in total, so quite a bit of gems to farm. After you finish the basic one, you can go to the difficult one. I'll need to do the difficult one. I was a bit lazy farming the current quest. And last but not least, let's look at the multiplayer. You can either create a room. When you do so, you use stamina, and when you join a room, you do not use stamina, but you do not get XP for your characters. You can only get the drops, so you can pretty much leech off other people. Now, when you join other players, making sure that when you enter, you have the correct party. So as I said before, I made a multiplayer party here because your leader of your team will always show us the character you would use when you go to multiplayer. So remember that. So that pretty much covers most of the UI of Mass of the Dead. Sorry, this video is a bit bland, and the next one I will talk about as I said, the event, and how I beat it, and what you should do. And also maybe should we end with a summon? Should we end with a summon? I don't need anyone though. The only SSR I'm missing here is just the original Eins, but he has a 0.2% chance of showing. This is no point. I will make summon videos down the line when this new character is coming, but there's nothing I need right now. And original Eins, he will come at some point. I'm not gonna, go out and chase after him. He's just a simple nuker. He's doesn't have any real utility at all. But that's it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I will keep you guys updated. Hopefully see you guys in the next one. Bye now.